Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. So, I think the MAGA movement is in serious trouble. I think this whole Epstein situation has really hurt Trump's image with his own base. And he continues to double down and he continues to change the narrative, saying, well, it's real, but it's really, there's nothing in there, to then saying it's not even real, to then saying it was real, but now manufactured by Obama and Hillary. It's just, the narrative's gone out the window. I think he's totally lost the plot. And the reason he doubled down is because his base was upset at him. They don't think he's being transparent. They don't think he's being trustworthy. And they seem to really care about this issue. And Trump wants to move on from this issue. He says it's not important and nobody cares. And are you guys still talking about Epstein? You know, that's crazy. Why are you doing that? Well, it's because it's the most important issue of our time. If the allegations are true, hundreds or thousands of politicians, media personalities, Hollywood elites, CEOs, business executives were involved in a giant blackmail operation run by, who knows, potentially a foreign government, potentially someone else. But that just means that everything that comes top down in our society is being controlled and manipulated by somebody. And so the thought of any other issue being more important than that is laughable, because no other issue could get done if your politicians are being blackmailed. And so the people want to know what happened and why do you keep saying it's unimportant and why do you want to keep moving on? And so he's crashed out against his own base, and his own base is saying this is the most important thing to us and we're not going to let it go. And if Trump continues to double down, then the MAGA movement's in serious trouble, because the MAGA movement lives and dies with Trump. It's his. It really is his. He started it. He has full control over it. Anybody who wants to be part of it kind of falls in line under his wing. But the MAGA movement won't last forever if Trump is not there. That's the problem with one-man movements. And Trump is working overtime to destroy his own reputation, especially with his own base. And so the Make America Great Again movement may go by the wayside. And what will take its place? Well, probably some form of the America First movement. There will be no longer interchangeable words. There'll be different movements. One that actually focuses on helping Americans and not lying to them. But unfortunately, the problem with the America First movement is most of those people are very young, under 30. You know, late millennials, Gen Z. Well, they don't have any institutional power. So we're going to potentially have this three-sided race in the next primary for 2028, where you have the neocons who are destined to rear their ugly head again. They've been waiting for Trump to be out of the picture. The MAGA personalities, the last remnants of Trump's campaign, and then the America First people, if there's any America First candidates, if there's any old enough to run. That is going to be a massive problem for the Republican Party, because that's a giant fracturing, clearly. And that's not good. Fracturings tend to be very bad, particularly in systems where you have two parties. Because any fractured party, you're going to end up Ross Perot-ing the thing. So there's no institutional power with the far right at the moment. So if Trump is kicked off his high horse, if he is thrown out with his own movement, and the American people, who I've been saying for a long time are already way more conservative than Donald Trump is, if they actually just say, we're done with you, Trump, we want to go somewhere else, there's not really somewhere else to go. They don't really have the candidates. They don't really have the people, not in mass. And there's not a substantial amount of institutional power either, or financial backing, because we're all broke. So it's not looking great for the MAGA movement, but it's also not looking great for the future of the Republican Party either. And this has led some people to speculate, like, hey, if Trump keeps doubling down and ruining his perception here, he's not going to be able to kingmake anybody like Vance. And anybody he does is going to be incredibly toxic to his own former base. And so the Democrats might win for the next 8 years or 12 years. Who knows? It could be, longer than a decade of Democrat rule, because the Republicans look incredibly guilty with the Epstein thing. They continuously lie and move the goalposts. Trump doubles down, crashes out, because he's so focused on other issues, doesn't actually do the things that are structurally necessary to the country if he's being controlled and manipulated, which a lot of people are wondering if he is. Will we ever actually get rid of income tax? Will the wars ever actually stop? They haven't yet, not permanently. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's hard to say because this came out of nowhere. I had no speculation about this beforehand because Trump just came out with the statement like it's all manufactured. It was all made up. Nobody saw that coming. If you did, you should buy a lottery ticket because it's just crazy out of left field pitch. But I just don't know where the future of the Republican Party is going to go. But the MAGA movement's in serious trouble, and Trump is doing this to himself. He's not listening to his base, and he's getting really mad at them. So anyways, Trump is in a really bad spot here. And I think he's gotten a little high on his own supply of support from his base. He has believed that the people love him for the things he says, and they listen to what he says. Like he is the one who dictates what they believe. When really, he was in 2016, he was one of the first people to step out of line, talking about building the wall, talking about kicking out all the illegal immigrants. That was true a decade ago, but now his base is further right than he is. And so they're demanding more from him than he is from them. The tables have turned, but he still thinks that when he says something, because he says X is MAGA, and that makes it, you should all be supporting it. That means it's good for Americans because I say it is, but that's not how that works. So I think he's gotten a little too full of himself, and so that's why he's mad at his base instead of saying, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the fact that Jeffrey Epstein has been trending for the last week, the fact that my own base is turning against me, the fact that I'm seeing videos of my own voters burning their MAGA hats and saying they're done with me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe something I've said that's upset them. Maybe I should listen to what they have to say. But he seems to not want to do that. He seems to want to continue to dictate what he believes MAGA means is what MAGA means. And like I said, it's his movement, so that is kind of the case. But the realities of what is actually good for Americans is not linguistics. It doesn't matter what movement you call it. It's either good for Americans because it is or it isn't. And what's going to be good for Americans is going to fall under America first. And what's going to not be good for Americans is slowly becoming MAGA. So we'll just have to see where this goes and how Trump reacts, how his staff reacts, how his administration reacts, how the people surrounding him, his supporters, break up along these lines. Like I said, you're going to get this 3-faction war going on if nothing is done. Trump has the opportunity to release the files. He has the opportunity to be transparent and to fix this. He has hurt his reputation, but if he does the thing that everybody wants him to do, which is just be honest about what's in there, then he will regain enough trust to maintain control of the party. He will probably be able to kingmake the next candidate, Vance most likely, or somebody else, and then that person could win. But if not, then the Republicans as a whole, and certainly the MAGA sector, are in serious trouble. So that's my thoughts on this. If you made it all the way through the video, I appreciate it. If you like the content, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.